Hey, gang. Welcome to another Friday Doggy Traders. Sorry, give me a second, gang. I want to make sure check 1, 2. There we go. Okay, we're live. Welcome to another Friday edition of the Doggy Traders, as I now get used to doing two podcasts during the week. And this is actually listed as a podcast through YouTube. Thanks to YouTube for that. Um, but Wednesdays, you can get, let me see if I can pull up. There we go. Wednesdays you can get on Talk TV 24 up the middle. It's every Wednesday 1:30 Pacific. That's actually 2:30 Pacific, 5:30 Eastern, 23:30 Central European. We don't lean to the right. We don't lean to the left. We are straight up the middle. Fair, balanced. I know you used to hear that on another famous network until they got proven otherwise. And yeah, so every Wednesday we'll see you there. Not about money so much. I mean, it could be, but more about politics. And I hated that. I didn't want to get into it. But, when I see people like Bongino and Carlson, and then I see people like Santos actually getting arrested. Here's another Republican arrested. It's time to help educate people, I guess. I don't think it's going to work. I mean, we just had one knucklehead have an hour, however long, on CNN, and nobody's any smarter for it. In fact, I feel a lot dumber. But yeah. So anyway, social media, anywhere you want to be, those corners, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Twitch, Telegram, and YouTube there across the bottom. That's where we're streaming to right now. You can get us on any of those every Friday afternoon, 4:30. And then the saved version and anything else we do on Doggy Traders is right there on YouTube. That's where we keep everything that's pre-recorded and edited and educational, inspirational, and whatever else. Anywhere you want to be at Doggy Traders. We're also expanding into television. Got to sit up or slide over or something. There we go. Expanding into television, probably by the end of the summer, maybe early fall, on Roku, Fire, Apple TV, Android TV, and their respective operating systems. Yeah, it's just the excuse me. The concept that got us to that was that one of the consultants that I'm working with to develop not only the Doggy Traders but the other brands that we're working on has said steer everybody to YouTube. Use your social media and get everybody to YouTube, and put your content there. And I considered that, and I thought, well, wait a minute. Kind of sort of what we do here is customer service, really, and it's my job to go to you. So we continued streaming to the platforms that you saw earlier, the Facebook, LinkedIn. I'm reading it off a screen here. Let me Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, and Telegram. And as a result, our YouTube channel is not necessarily growing, but because this is more of a business type of content, our LinkedIn page is more than 4 times our YouTube channel. And that's where we get a lot of our activity. So by casting that wider net, we are developing a larger audience. And so now we're making it even wider by expanding into television. And we're looking forward to that by the end of the summer or early fall. So, news, we got Moby's back. Thank you to everyone so much for the support over the past really 2023. Moby, you see there in the tribute, has gone downhill. He just simply aged as any older dog would. And within the past couple of weeks, I wasn't even walking him anymore. He was going outside out back to do his business, and that was it. Because by the time we got to the corner and back, he was sucking wind something hard. And I was not going to put him through that. So he stayed home when I took Matrix for the walk. That's the other dog you see in the dark brindle that you see in the same photos. And then finally, this last week, it was a more serious decline. And a week ago, yesterday, we had to say goodbye. Yesterday afternoon, we got those ashes back, and Moby is now home. So, yeah, uh, some sponsors. We get a new sponsor, and definitely got to welcome this guy. The Doggy Trader Studio smells a hell of a lot better when Aroma by Peter is burning. Our candle that we got going right now is salted caramel, but go to his website. Actually, every time I do this, I'll put in the comments the link that we use for Peter. Great stuff. Definitely check out his website and place your order. Use the well, the link is going to be slash. I forget what his actual domain is. That's where I'm going to put it in the comments. But it's slash Doggy Traders. You can also get a hold of this guy, Tim's Custom Computers. He's down here in Florida with me, but can ship you anywhere. He's got This is the amazing machine that's sitting to my right, just off camera, is what he put together, and it's why the Doggy Traders and really the whole Yerger group can do everything that we can. Edward Jones makes sense of investing, also right here, all over the place. I mean, with the big retirement community that hits Florida, it doesn't surprise me that Edward Jones is all over the place. But my guy is right here on Route 52. Mark Rediger, helps us make sense of investing, as they say, and has definitely kept me out of financial trouble. When you get to Hudson, don't forget to get a gym workout in with us. Train at the House of the Mouse, Monster Mouse Fitness, and Bayonet Point. And finally, when you get the profits and it's time to pay the taxes on it, have this guy help you out. Joe Susi is a CPA down in St. Pete. He is probably on vacation right now for the past month since tax season being over, but I can't blame him for that. So that's everybody. Back to the news. The IRS is, I didn't put damn it, I should have done that. I didn't put an overlay up with SBF or FTX or the whole alphabet soup debacle. But the IRS is looking for more than $40 billion in back taxes from the FTX bankruptcy. And again, I think this is a news story that's being put out, probably most likely by the government. I mean, obviously it's newsworthy because it's kind of rehashing or updating on something that's been a huge news item, in the past, 8-9 months. But this is, I think, targeted. Again, you'll see another story that's next. I think this is targeted again to be crypto is bad. I think that's where we're going here. Crypto is bad, and that's not the case. It's not true. I said it before. I'll say it again. FTX, Alameda Research, Sam Bankman-Fried, that whole fraud scheme, that's what it is. Call it what it is. That whole fraud scheme had nothing to do with crypto. It was about fraud. That's it. He used crypto, or they used crypto, and I think we get that, but that's not crypto's fault. Don't penalize us, those who are, making sound investments with it and profiting with it and, buying houses with it, because of one asshole. And I think we're working on another story about the digital coin or the digital dollar. There's stories out that the Biden administration is trying to change the dollar to go 100% digital. And I think the stupidity behind that is the failure to realize it's there already. When I lived in Los Angeles, my first place was a condo in a condo building that, some self-proclaimed investor said he owned and bought and was renting out as an investment property. It didn't work because his realtor told me that I had 2 parking spots and that I could have large dogs, which, as of course, I had. And neither of those were true. So within 2 months, I was pretty much being evicted by the management company, who had nothing, had no choice in the matter. That was the policy that I was never advised on. Um, but in the quick desperation to find myself a new home, I reconnected with my realtor and said, what do you got to what do you got up your sleeve? What can we do? And he said, move in with me. And I'm telling you all that because he preferred that for the short time that I moved with him, um, he preferred that I pay cash, which I was fine with. I get it. He lived up in the Hollywood Hills in a very nice house, and was willing to house me and two very large dogs. I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to argue. Um, so I go to an ATM machine the first time I go to pay him rent or pay him a down payment, and I didn't know how to use it. I didn't remember how to use an ATM machine because it had been that long since I, tried to withdraw any money. And so, point being, we're already electronic with the regular good old fashioned dollar. And I think to try to replace that with the quote digital dollar is useless. It's redundant. We've already got the digital dollar. It's there. Even back in high school, before cryptocurrencies became a thing, and really even before uh, debit cards became a thing, we were taught that there was I forget what the number was, but there was such a huge percentage of our money transactions that were already virtual in the form of what we then called checkbook dollars or checkbook money. A check has been written, and really that's what a dollar is. It's an IOU based on whatever is backing it. And that's, thousands of years ago, that's what private bankers figured out, that instead of taking actual gold from you, holding it, and then giving it back out to somebody else, they would just write a note and sign it. And everybody knew who that signature was. That, okay, well, yeah, I can take this note back and say, well, Bob gave it to me. Now I actually want real gold, or got to do whatever I got to do, or put this in your savings under my name, whatever. And so we're already at a point where we're not really transacting the actual currency that's backing whatever currency we've got. We've been that way always. So now they want to do the digital dollar. And I think that I can't think of any other reason than control. They want to get rid of cryptocurrencies. I heard, I sat there, I was 4 feet away from Trump's Treasury Secretary when he said it. He said, I will get rid of Bitcoin. And he failed. I think we're to a point now where cryptos, I know Warren Buffett, God love him, he still is holding on to this being a bubble. Well, what are we up to now? 12, 13 years of this being a bubble? I think cryptos are going to stay. I think um, Mark Cuban was correct when he said that Bitcoin is no longer a currency, that it is a gold standard. And he's right. You're not going to use Bitcoin to buy groceries, because by the time you get home, the value could have gone up, and you would have made bank on it. You're going to use it to hold, and like I said, to buy a house, to buy two jet skis that are sitting out back, to pay for emergency surgeries, to the dogs that would be the namesake of your brand someday. So yeah, that we're going after somebody that's, I mean, talk about beating a dead horse, that we're going after somebody that's essentially dead. FTX is not coming back. And their goal is, and I think this is both Republican and Democratic. I know Pocahontas, Liz Warren, is trying to, she's doing this in the guise of protecting her constituents and protecting the consumer. Here's the best way to protect yourself as a crypto consumer: this channel, or watch other channels to educate yourself on what the crypto industry is all about. Speaking of dogs, I got one scratching himself. To educate yourself on what the crypto industry is all about and what trading is like and how you can make and lose money. That's the best way. Don't just jump in. And that's what so many people that came crying to her did. They jumped in, they lost, and they want their money back. No, that's not how it works. Um, but I think that's why the far left is trying to get rid of cryptos because they think they're protecting, or that's at least the guys they're using to get rid of cryptos, is that they're protecting their constituents. The far right are protecting their constituents, and that's Wall Street. Um, when we had Bernie Madoff, we didn't go, we didn't launch a big investigation into Goldman Sachs. We didn't launch a big investigation into TD Price or any of these other big investment firms. We launched an investigation into Bernie Madoff because he was the criminal that used all those investment opportunities to conduct his scheme, but he was the one conducting the scheme, not those other entities. It's the same thing with crypto. They want to launch investigations into the worthiness and are they securities and this, that, and the other thing. They're going after Tether. They've gone against Ripple and XRP and so many others. And speaking of which, I need to put up. I need to launch this puppy. There we go. Get that running. They're going against Ripple and XRP and so on. And really, that's not the problem. The problem was Sam Bankman-Fried. And having been very young throughout my life, having gotten into some pretty awesome things, um, I hate having to say this, but the problem with Alameda Research and Company and FTX and whoever else is that there was too much youth and inexperience, um, and I think more so than the youth, the immaturity. When she sits, I forget what her name was, but when she sits on, I'm brain farting. Caroline Ellison, I think it was, sat on a podcast and said, "We don't use stop losses." That's bad. That's really bad, especially when you're trading and investing with other people's money. Um, it's ethically wrong, and I'm sure somewhere it's criminal. I don't do that. I do my own money, and that's it. But yeah, when she said we don't use stop losses, I literally cringed. I'm like, you, you can't say that, and you can't do that. So I think there was a lot of immaturity that ran FTX. It was not the problem of crypto. You know, Crypto had nothing to do with. We are running kind of slow here. Um, Crypto had nothing to do with the FTX. It's just what they use. It was fraud, plain and simple. And I think today's two articles, with them trying to still get money from the government, still trying to get money from FTX is comical on one, but also uh, that the Department of Justice is saying, need to stop another. The Department of Justice is saying, where is it at here? Give me a second. That crypto is a veteran of their cybersecurity is saying that crypto is touching every crime that's out there. You know where that's going, gang. I just said it. This is going to be the reason why the government comes after crypto and not after its own dollar. Are you telling me that with all the drugs that are being dealt, the dollar's got nothing to do with it? That's not even close to accurate. The dollar has everything to do with it. That's why the drugs are being dealt. That's why we have RICO. That's why we have, so many of the different white collar crimes that we have is because of the dollar. And so now they're going to say they're going to forget about that and they're going to say, well, we got to go after crypto. And I think both sides are going to suffer at the polls as a result. There's too many people I'm seeing that have been that are former anti-crypto people who have taken the time to educate themselves with or without, the help of the doggy traders. This isn't me patting myself on the back. It's far from it. But with or without the doggy traders, uh, they've educated themselves on just the possibilities, and whether or not they get into an investment themselves, they realize the potential. I think we're seeing more and more people realize that crypto's here to stay. That this bubble has burst, and it was at 69,000 when Bitcoin hit its all-time high, and now it's a puddle of soapy water, but it's still there, and I don't think it's going anywhere. Let us know. You've got there's the email if you want to hit me up direct. You can also put anything in the comments. We'll put the links to the sponsors. I think that's everything, gang. It's enough of me rambling, and yeah, have an awesome weekend. There we go. Yeah, see you again next week. Also see you on Wednesday. Look that up there. Well, that's every Friday. And then every Wednesday. See you there.